Hello class. Today we're going to be going over squaring the vise and the steps that is required to perform this procedure. The most important thing is making sure your surfaces are clean. So always check to make sure the table that you're putting the vise on is free of any chips or burrs. And then you want to check your vise, the bottom and the solid jaw that you'll be indicating against. So the next step is going to take these bolts and you're going to tighten one side only. The side that you tighten is going to be what you're going to use for your pivot point. All right. You want to set your zero on the same side that you have the bolt tightened at, so the other side can swivel from that point. Okay, so once you have your indicator loaded up into the vise, into the spindle collet, you're going to come in and you're going to set a zero on your dial indicator. All right, you want to put a little travel distance, I say about 10 to 15 thou from when your indicator starts to make contact with the surface. So your 10 thou on, you manually spin your dial face to zero. Just line the needle up. So now we have a zero, and all we're going to do, we're going to sweep this solid vise to the whole distance. And as you can see, we're low. All right, low meaning that the needle moved to the left of the zero. So now what we're going to do, that blow hammer has lead in it, it absorbs shock. We're going to take it and we're going to just tap it. See the needle starts to move, so it's starting to make contact. We're going to line it up with the zero that we set on the opposite end. So once we have it about zero, we sweep it back to our starting point. We re-zero it, and then we check it again. As you can see, we're holding the zero a lot closer than the previous sweep that we did. So we make another adjustment. As you can see, we're only going to make adjustments from the side where the bolt is loose. Okay, the side that we have tight is always going to be our initial starting point, and that's where we're going to come back. We want the whole solid jaw to stay at that zero. As you can see, it didn't move, so I'm going to tighten down the bolt I left loose just a little bit, because I don't want it to pull off the zero, and if I need to, I can still make an adjustment. So I hand tight it, sweep it back across. I still see I'm holding the zero. You can tighten it more. Just be mindful that you don't over tighten it so you don't pull off that zero. So when you do go back, everything is in a line. So we're still holding a zero, and that's it. All right. So the most important thing is to make sure your surfaces are clean. All right. You're setting your zero on the side that you tighten the bolt down, using that as a pivot. You sweep the whole vise. Once you get to the opposite end, that's when you make your adjustments for the dab blow hammer. You may have to do it a few times, but following these steps,